What is up, everybody? It is Monday, February 22nd, 2021. It is Talking That Talk with Kiefer and Kriegs. Back for another episode. Fresh start of the week. I hope your Monday was great. Krieger's wasn't so well. Mine was typical Monday, the usual. We're just going to jump right into it. Krieger can get into Friday's recap with his Bulls.
Yeah, so tough game for the Bulls. Played the 76ers. They ended up losing 112 to 105. Embiid put up 50, 17, and 5. Excuse me. And Levine put up his usual numbers, 30 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists. Ultimately, it just wasn't enough. 76ers. Joel Embiid had a night that he's going to remember, like for the rest of his career. A career night. I know he's hit 50 before, but all around he was just playing phenomenally. It was ridiculous to watch. Moves the 76ers up to 20-10 and the Bulls to 12-16. Still on the outside looking in as far as the playoff picture.
They're not playing bad.
Patrick Williams actually didn't have a terrible game on Friday. So that was good to see. But he's too fucking streaky still, so I'm still calling him the bus. Go ahead with the Clippers.
Clippers get the win over the Jazz, 116-112. So both of my picks were wrong on Friday. Krieger was 1-1. Mitchell had 35, 4 boards, 5 assists. Obviously was not enough. Kawhi had a typical night, 29, 5 and 4. Clippers now sitting at 22-9, and the Jazz still hold that one spot at 24-6. The Blackhawks dropped to 9-6-4 after losing 5-3 to the Hurricanes the other night. They didn't play bad. They gave up 3 goals in the third period, which is hard to overcome.
I mean, that's just how the Blackhawks have played all year, though.
They're gonna score, but they're gonna give up goals as well.
Yeah, they struggle. Not that they struggle in the goal, but they're definitely subpar as to what they've had the past couple of years. And defensively, they just, as far as the past couple of years, it just hasn't been the same as the Blackhawks usually are. So having them, score 5 or seeing them give up 5 goals, usually you're like, oh shit, they had a really bad game. That's just how this Blackhawks team is. Unfortunately, you got to put up the numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
Hornets beat the Warriors on a buzzer beater. Terry Rozier had 36 on the night, 102 to 100. Draymond got a double technical with just, I think, a couple seconds left in the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they end up bringing it within 1 because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Got tossed, end up costing them the game, essentially.
Yeah, there was a couple ejections late, or a couple. I mean, I didn't watch the Draymond Green injection, but in the Pelicans game that we'll talk about later, JJ Redick got tossed for nothing.
Putting a spin on the ball, yeah.
Yeah, he mouthed off to him first. Yeah, that's that. But he literally got fouled on a drive-in and spun the ball to the referee. The referee wasn't looking because he was talking to the scores table, signifying who the foul was on, and it hit him in like the shin, and he like power tripped. Yeah.
Yep.
He immediately stopped looking at. Get out of here, flipping everything.
And
yeah.
Finals rematch: the Heat beat the Lakers 96-94. LeBron missed some free throws down the stretch that not cost them, but didn't help their situation. LeBron finished with 19, 9, and 9. Kendrick Nunn was the leading scorer for the Heat with 27. He put out a good performance. The Bulls bounced back.
He's coming off the bench too, isn't he?
Yes. Which, I mean, that Heat, we know what both these teams are capable of, especially the Heat. I know they're having some, I wouldn't say rust, but they're not playing up to their capabilities.
I think the bubble had a lot of the reason they did so well last year.
Yeah, I mean they're a good team, but
right, exactly. I don't think they're a bad team.
I don't see them going back to the finals.
No shot. I don't see them go to the Eastern Conference Finals with how the East is looking.
And then Krieger's Bulls bounced back less than 24 hours. They beat the Kings 122 to 114. Behind Levine's 38 points. He's on an absolute tear. He's fun to watch. I know Krieger likes to talk about the all-star starting snub he got. There's no doubt that he'll be on the team, but I do think he probably should have made it as a starter.
I mean, it is what it is. A lot of it's politically driven and fan driven, and yeah, he's in the. I mean, financially, the third biggest market in the NBA, outside of Los Angeles and New York.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's hard to. The Bulls winning is good for basketball. Okay, no matter what it is, if the Bulls are winning, it's good for basketball. So when they're streaky or when they're not doing well, they don't get talked about at all.
Nope.
Literally at all. So it's hard for. I mean, they don't like. Yeah, Zach LaVine, you know who that is, but like he's not nearly as big as a face as when Derrick Rose was here.
No,
not nearly, not even half. You talked about the Bulls. You said, "Oh, Derrick Rose and that defense, that Bulls defense, they're gonna." Now it's just like, oh, Zach LaVine's gonna score about 30 points per game, but good luck someone else pushing 15 or 20.
They're gonna lose the game. Yeah.
Which is it's hard to see, but I don't know. We're moving in the right direction as far as our coaching staff. Billy Donovan's 100 times better than Jim Boylan was, and I think it shows just in the 30 games they played this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll end up making the playoffs this year. If they do, it'll be as the 8th seed, and they'll get knocked out by whoever they play in the first round. Whoever the 1 seed will be. But probably going to be the Nets if I were to have to take it, I'd say, or the 76ers. One of those two teams, either or, we don't stand a chance. I don't see us realistically with the team that we have. I don't see us beating any team in a 7-game series that would make the playoffs. So, Wizards squeak out a tough one over the Trailblazers, 118-111. Westbrook actually had a really good night, triple-double, 27, 11, and 13. Lillard also had 36, 6, and 12. Just wasn't enough in the end. Westbrook just looked, I think that he played the best ball that he's played all year on Saturday.
And then unrated Duke knocked off number 7 Virginia, 66-65 in a close one. Has nothing but help the Blue Devils' tournament chances. I mean, they're 10-8. If they can string some wins on at the end of the season, they're going to get in. It's because of who they are.
Yeah, but that was wild. Seeing that happen. We talked about that going in on Friday night. If Virginia was going to hold off Duke and stay in the top 10, because there was a lot of top 10 teams that lost last week. But it's good to see. I mean, obviously I'm a Michigan guy. I'm going to root for Michigan. But like, if I'm just watching college basketball, I like to see Duke do well because of how much everyone hates him. I just like to see it.
He's one of those guys.
Yeah. It's not anything like I'm going to fucking go out and know who their players are or know how they're doing in the ACC or anything along those lines whatsoever. But if they're on, I'll be rooting for them.
Number 13, West Virginia defeated number 12, Texas, in a close one, 84-82. Obviously, Big 12 seeding, that's important for that. But besides that, both teams are making the tournament, so not huge.
You think one of them squeaks into the top 10 now? You think West Virginia does?
I mean, they're posted. I haven't looked at the top 10, but I would imagine Texas only dropped to 14. They
are posted?
Yeah, Texas only dropped to 14. But then speaking of top 25, number 23 Kansas boosted their ranking with knocking off number 15 Texas Tech 67-61. Kansas is now ranked 17, and they actually play a little getting ahead of it. But 17 Kansas travels to number 14 Texas on Tuesday. Should be a good game.
So the way this, I guess we'll just finish up the recap before we talk about standings. Michigan beat number 4 Ohio State in Ohio for the first time since 2014. I'm pretty sure the score was 92-87. Huge win for the Wolverines as far as just seeding in general and the Big Ten. I think Michigan won 3 games this weekend against Ohio State.
Women's basketball, men's basketball, and hockey.
Yep. So it was good. It was a good day to be a Wolverine. So that's good to hear. Uh, Pelicans. They rally late. Well, I mean, We'll keep going into the Sunday games with the Michigan game. Pelicans rally late. It was the largest comeback in their franchise history. Beat the Celtics in overtime, 120 to 115. I was actually watching that game the majority of the game, and man, Brandon Ingram is fun to watch. I remember when he got drafted originally, I wasn't really sold on him. He wasn't. I mean, not that he wasn't good, but you can tell he definitely has more of a.
That trade was perfect for him.
Yeah, he needed to get out of Los Angeles because that's where he got drafted, right? It was the Lakers. He needed to get out of there. I think that's good for him to get out of LeBron's shadow. I mean, I think he's the number one on that team. Like he's the guy.
I mean, Zion's a close too, but
right.
Ingram can score way better.
Zion played very well on the stretch too, and that was the first time I got to see him like
ball
do
out.
Work. Yeah, and it was fun to watch as well.
You can jump into the next one as well.
The Nets hold off the Clippers 112 to 108. Harden 37, 11, and 7. No KD again. Paul George 34, 6, and 7. Nets are hot. I think there's no doubt in that at all. I do know the Nets just had I sent this earlier to Zach too. Had their road trip they played the Pacific Division in the NBA, which is the Warriors, the Kings, the Suns, the Lakers, the Clippers. Got wins against all of them. They're on a 5-game streak right now. The last 4 games were without KD.
Yep.
So they're still balling out.
They're not missing a beat.
Yeah, they are hot. They are rolling. They're going to be a team to reckon with if they can keep this up.
They're fun to watch. Jump into Elimination Chamber. We'll just talk about 2 chamber matches. Daniel Bryan won the SmackDown Elimination Chamber to become the number 1 contender for Roman Reigns' Universal title, and Roman came out immediately.
In the match, he hurt his knee. Daniel Bryan did.
Roman came out immediately. Daniel Bryan got the yes lock locked in, and then Roman just put him out. Pin him, retain his title. And it was nice to see Edge come and lay a spear on Roman post-match.
Spear the shit out of him.
Point at the WrestleMania sign. Basically confirming their match. 100% confirming their match for WrestleMania, which should be really, really good. It was a good start to the pay-per-view. And then to finish it off, we called it, actually. Mm-hmm. McIntyre retained his WWE Championship in the Chamber. But post-match, Bobby Lashley takes out his anger on Drew McIntyre after losing his... After losing his U.S. title earlier.
In a triple threat to Riddle and who was the other?
John Morrison.
Yep.
And then with defeated Drew McIntyre laying there in the middle of the ring, out comes The Miz with his briefcase, Money in the Bank, cashes it in. The Miz is the new...
He tried to pin him, or I think he just DDT'd him at first.
He hit his one alternate finisher on him, and then he hit the skull-crushing finale and then pinned him. So The Miz is the WWE champion. Looking forward to WrestleMania, which is interesting because he's got this feud with Bad Bunny, and it looked like the payoff was going to be The Miz and Morrison versus Damian Priest and Bad Bunny at WrestleMania. Interested to see how that pans out tonight. I'm sure they'll get into it a little bit more.
Is there any more pay-per-views?
Yeah, there's one more. Then?
Which one is it?
It should be Fastlane, which will take place in probably
March.
3 weeks.
End of March.
Yeah.
Yep, March 21st. So, I mean, I think, and then what? WrestleMania is 2 weeks after that.
Yeah. So they've been building for Mania for a couple weeks now.
Right.
They'll really dive in starting tonight. We've got Edge, Edge versus Roman. It looks like it's going to be Bianca Belair versus Sasha. So both Rumble winners taking on the SmackDown titles. I can see them. I don't know, because I'm sure McIntyre gets a rematch tonight. I don't see him taking it back from The Miz, but I'm also curious. All right, I can see this happening tonight just because I know how WWE is. McIntyre versus Miz for the title tonight. Main event. Bad Bunny will come out and cost The Miz the championship. McIntyre will win it back. And then that'll continue the feud with Morrison, Miz, Bad Bunny, and Priest. I hope it doesn't happen, but I can really see WWE pulling the plug on that.
Yeah, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair had a chance to win the women's titles, and they lost them. The tag team titles, that is. So she confirmed that she's fighting
It's
her?
not confirmed yet, but she is on SmackDown. So I'll let you in a little secret. I don't know if you knew this already, but couples who are like in WWE together, they keep them on the same show. Because like when they could travel to different places, so like when Edge and Lita were, I mean she didn't wrestle much when they were dating, but like so like Charlotte Flair and Andrade are together. They're gonna stay on the same show. I know they're filming from the same place, but when they go back to traveling,
wait, like together in like real life?
Yes.
Okay, like outside of the WWE.
Yes. And then Bianca's married to one of the Street Profits, and they're on SmackDown. Okay. So when they go back to doing live shows and stuff in different place every night, they do it so that couples can travel together instead of know opposite ends, so not getting to see each other. So I can I see her facing Sasha for the title.
Okay.
But news today pisses me off. I was aggravated as hell to see this. Jeremy Jeffries signed a minor league deal with the Washington Nationals. Why the fuck wouldn't you pay him, Chicago? There's no
the fact that he signed a minor league deal,
which isn't guaranteed. It's under $1 million. You're telling me you couldn't give this dude $1 million to come pitch this year? No shot.
That's ridiculous. I remember seeing that today, and like it made me physically like sick to my stomach.
Yeah, you sent it to me. I instantly got pissed off. I was like, "You're joking."
Like I don't understand. I mean, yeah, we've added bullpen work, but no, you're telling me that no other teams were willing to give him a major league contract? You like you said, can't sign him to a fucking veterans minimum. Give him $700,000 and have him report to spring training.
You gave Workman, who did not play last year, like 6 million. And then you can't give Jeffries, who was the fucking anchor of the bullpen last year, held it down, was the best pitcher on our staff besides Darvish. You can't pay him. You can't even give him fucking $5 million. He signed a minor league contract, dude. That's under $1 million.
Give him $1 million contract and have him prove it again.
If you really don't trust him. Tell him.
No way. There is no way you let him walk.
You give him $1 million and put a bunch of incentives in his contract. You pitch this well. By then, you do this, you get extra money.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but like that makes me feel like we're still going to sign another bullpen guy. Like the fact that we let him walk
for him to go sign for fucking chicken scraps. Chicken feed, you know?
I hope the Cubs know what they're doing, man. I really do. I hope they do. But
position players reported as well to camp. The first spring training games start on Sunday. The Cubs don't play till Monday, but we'll dive into that more on Wednesday.
I don't know. You know, it's nice to see everyone playing with each other again, but like, not that I think any of the roster, as far as outside of the pitching rotation, is fine or is bad, but like. I look at our pitching staff and I am scared. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do in the 5th or the 6th and the 7th. Hell, even the 8th.
We'll wait and see.
I don't know. I hope they got it fucking figured out.
All right, NBA for tonight. The Bulls travel to Houston, square off against the Rockets. Bulls need to ride the wave of momentum from Saturday. This would be a good team this is a team that they should beat. And then 2 games to look out for: Hornets versus Jazz and Blazers versus Suns tonight. Those are both, I think, at 10. Should be 2 very good matchups. Good teams playing. The Hornets are kind of rocky. They're either gonna compete with the best or they're gonna get blown out. There's kind of been no in between with them.
Yeah.
That'll do it for today. Justin can dive into Tuesday's matchups.
Well, before I do that, I just got an update on my phone, and the Jaguars are expected to decline the team option for Tyler Effort's contract. he will now be a free agent. So another tight end going on the market.
Sounds like the Bears.
Yeah, there's no way that if we pay another tight end, I swear to God, I'm gonna be done.
You're gonna be done.
Looking forward to Tuesday's games. On TNT, Celtics and the Mavs play at 7:30. Then Trailblazers and Nuggets at 10. Two big matchups. The Mavs are in the East
West.
or they're in the West. Okay. Big matchup in the West then for the Trailblazers and the Nuggets.
Should be a really good game. Both of them should be really good games.
Should be good for that.
Michigan State host number 5 Illinois. That would be a huge win. Give them 2 wins over top 5 teams this year. And would definitely boost their tournament resume. And then, like I said earlier, number 17 Kansas travels to number 14 Texas. And just wrapping it up for tonight. Wednesday we'll give you a quick recap. Jump into another edition of Cubs Talk. Talk about spring training, rumors, and what we've been reading on across the league. Should be a fun episode. Are we having a guest?
I haven't been able to find anybody. I've been talking to a couple people, but I think we should wait until like we get into full baseball season before we do anything like that anymore.
Just the 2 of us again on Wednesday. With that being, what's up?
Well, West Virginia did make it in the top 10. They are ranked 10, so they did move out. Virginia dropped down to 15th.
That's not bad for losing twice in 1 week.
Houston dropped out of the top 10. They're down to 12. Like you said, Illinois is up to 5, which might be the highest they've ever been. I don't know.
What else? You got anything left?
No, I'm good on it.
All right, well that will do it for us. It's a little short today, but we got some things to take care of tonight. I ain't got nothing else. We will see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.